Welcome back.
As a child, Pablo Picasso showed himself to be a brilliant draughtsman. His early paintings were realistic, although tinged with color, as in his Blue period and Rose period.
Later, he began to introduce African elements into his work, then founded Cubism with Georges Braque, and later still moved to a new, more cartoon-like style. Apart from paintings, he produced prints, ceramics, and sculpture.
A highly popular exhibition at the Hong Kong Heritage Museum until July the 22nd covers every phase of his long career.
Picasso was Spanish, but became French and stayed all his life in a large part of his life in France. You know, during his life in France, Picasso met a lot of artists of the 20th century. During all the 20th century, he was inspired by writers, by a lot of different artists. We can say that he's the father of the contemporary art of today, by his influence, by his originality, by his sense of the creation.
The Picasso exhibition includes 48 oil paintings and 7 sculptures for the Musée Picasso in Paris. Organized as part of the Louvre French May 2012, it's considered the most significant exhibition of his work to have been presented in Hong Kong and covers his entire artistic career. The Barefoot Girl was created in 1895 when he was just 14.
When he was 14, he was in the Spanish, old master Spanish tradition, and he was painting in the manner of Murillo or Velázquez. And it's incredible to think he was 14 only. We start with the beginning, with the Blue period. We go through with the classical or neoclassical period, and Picasso is very interested in the representation of the figure, that it could be a figurative approach. 1917, 1918, and he has been involved in the process of recreation of the body and of the shape. Until the end of 1930, end of the 30s. So we can see here something very specific and not so well known. And if you look carefully about the works, you can see it's full of distortion, because Picasso was working from photography during this period, and he was very interested by the distortion of perspective and optic dysfunctionment of the real. Between 1936 to 1950, and at this moment he was involved in pop art in Picasso own way, by building new objects. The beginning of the 70s are dedicated for it's a long dialogue with the masters, and in the show we can see some paintings between the 80 and 90, Picasso was discussing with the old masters until he died.
The Musée Picasso was set up in 1985 to display works acquired by the French government from the painter and his heirs. It's closed for renovation until next summer, and has in the meantime allowed many of his works out on loan. Prior to arriving in Hong Kong, these pieces were exhibited in Shanghai and Taipei.
What we can see in the exhibition is his own process to be free, and he never agreed to say, okay, I am Cubist, I am ready to stay Cubist during 70 years. No. He invented the Cubism, and then he was in a new place, and then he was a surrealist because he was moving every day.